You're interested in an APA citation generator. What that means is I'm going to show you how to insert citations and get them to print out in whatever format you want. APA, MLA, whatever, Chicago, whatever format you want. And this is a little known feature in Microsoft Word, that Microsoft Word will manage all of your citations for you and do all of the formatting for you. So I'm going to show you that feature about Microsoft Word, and then I'm also going to show you how to write an amazing research paper. So how to format it so it looks fantastic. I'm not going to show you the content. I'm going to show you how to format Microsoft Word, a research paper, a title page, headers and footers, doing a table of contents built off of using something called styles and heading one styles throughout your document. And we'll see how to do a bibliography, the whole deal. So let's get started with the APA Citation Manager. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Microsoft Word, and I'm working on a Mac. So if you're in Windows, this is going to be very similar in Windows. You just have to search for, where did I do this thing in Windows, and you'll be able to do the exact same thing in Windows using Word. So I'm going to start a new blank document, and I want to generate a little text to work with here. So I'm going to do equals ran, and just put in some numbers like this many paragraphs, that many lines per paragraph, and hit enter, and it generated some random text for me. So now let's say I want to give this, a source. So I've quoted some stuff and I want to give that a source. I'm going to go up to Insert, and I'm looking for Citation. View, Edit, View. It's under View. There it is. View Citations right there. So View Citations. So I click on that, and then in here I could choose whichever style I want to use. I'm going to stick with APA. I'm going to add a new source. I'm going to click plus right there. And for the author, I'm going to put Stephen King. And the title will be The Shining. And the city is Bangor. And the state is Maine. And the country is USA. And the publisher is, I don't know, Newfield. And the year is 1974 or something like that. Okay, cool. There's my first citation. If I quote that again down here, I just, have my quotes. This is how I avoid plagiarism, is make sure I give credit where credit's due, and then double click it, and you can see it put in the citation there. If I wanted to change that to MLA, right, it changed it to MLA. So throughout the entire document, that'll be changed, and I'll also change the formatting of my works cited or my bibliography. Let's add one more source just for hoots and hollers. I'm going to do a quote on this one right here, right there, and add one more source, click the plus sign, and the author on this one will be Antoine de Saint-Exupéry is great, but so is Beryl Markham. And the title is West with the Night. And the city is Paris, and the country is France. And the publisher is Bonjour Press, I don't know. And the year is like 1925. Great book if you've never read it. Cool, so now I've got that one in there. I jump to the end of my document, and I want to put in a works cited. All I do is I close this, get it out of the way, go to Document Elements, and then to Bibliography, and choose either Bibliography or works cited, and there it is. If I change this from APA to Chicago, watch this change as I change. Boom, changed it. If I go to MLA, boom, changed it. So everything is taken care of for you in Microsoft Word. Pretty amazing. So now let's get started crafting the rest of this document. I'm actually making this video as a tutorial for an assignment in my class. And so the first thing we're going to do is there's different levels of formatting in Microsoft Word. So you could format on the character level. I could format that one character right there. I could take that cue and I could do whatever I want to it. I could do stuff like make it bold, and I could make it like red, right? And I've formatted on the character level. So that's character level formatting. And then there's paragraph level formatting. So I could select this entire paragraph. I could go to Format, Paragraph. See, we had font, character level, paragraph. There's a paragraph level. And I could come in here and I could say, hey, this has some indentation, and I'm only going to apply this to this one paragraph. And I could also format on the document level. This is actually a little bit of a misnomer. They've misnamed this because in the document, you could apply this to selected text. You could also go to like page setup in here and change whether it's portrait or landscape. But in layout, there's also a place in here to if I have multiple sections, and we'll see this in a second, where I could format just a certain section. So let's see that now. So I'm going to insert a new section because I want a title page, title of my paper, right? And I want to have that centered vertically in the middle of the page and horizontally in the middle of the page. So I'm going to insert a break and create a new section so we could format different sections differently. So I create a new section. There's my new section. If I change my view from print layout to like draft, I could then see I have a section break there, and I could bump this text up right next to it. But I'm going to go back to view, print layout, and in print layout I'm going to change this page. I'm going to, down here in the bottom right corner, change my zoom level down so I could see two pages side by side. And I'm going to change this one page right here, this one section. And so I'm just going to make sure I've clicked in that section, that, you know, that's where my cursor is, and you can see it flashing there. And now I'm going to put that in the center. And you can see it only applied it to this one, not to that one, because it says one section. And then I'm going to go to Format and Document, and I'm going to go to Page Setup. And you can see now this says this section, right? I'm going to go to Page Setup, and that's all fine. I don't want to change that. I want to go to Vertical Alignment Center right there. And so hit OK. And so now that's in the center of my paper. Very cool. Next thing I want to do is I want to add some headings to my paper. So I'm going to come over here to this first one, and this might be Introduction, right? And I'll hit Enter, and then I'm going to format that. So I highlight it. I'm going to choose right here under Styles on Home, Heading 1. And so I could drop a couple of different headings in there. And I'm going to put some more text in, equals rand, and we'll do 18,18, just some big chunks of text. And so now we've got several pages of text. And so right here I'm going to put in another heading, and I'll do this hypothesis, and we'll do this heading 1, and we'll do another one over here, and we'll call it methodology. It all sounds very appropriate and academic. And we'll do another one here, and we'll call it interviews, and we'll call it heading 1. And then down here at the bottom, works cited, and that's already formatted as heading 1, so that's cool. So now I'm going to insert one more section break, insert break, section break, and I have a new blank page here, and I just want to make sure my cursor's flashing there. And I'm going to go to Insert, and I think I go to Index and Tables. There it is. I usually work in Windows, so I'm always like, where is that on Word and on Mac? But Insert, Index and Tables. And then here I go to Table of Contents, and you can see it's built off of heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. I could show levels down to heading 1. Now that's just heading 1. And so boom, and hit OK, and it put in my Table of Contents. If I was to change this, you can see hypothesis is on page 4. But what happens if I insert a whole bunch more text, right? So I'm just going to highlight all this. Command C, Command V, and Command V. And you can see I'm shifting this down. Now it's on a new page. I could come up here and I could update this. And when I update this, right click, update field, right? And it's asked me, what do you want to update? Update page numbers only, or the entire table? Update the whole table. And you will see hypothesis shift from page 4 to like page 5 or 6. Page 5, right? Everything shuffled down because we added new text. So that's a really cool way to do your table of contents. And I could go into view and draft and just make sure that, you know, that's right up against the top, and this one I'd want right up against the top. So looks like that's as close as I could get that one. All right, good enough. Print layout. So we have a nice table of contents. We have a title page. We have heading 1, you know, from the styles right here, which our table of contents is built off of. We have some text for our document. We have our works cited. I'm just going to go ahead and right here insert another break and make that a section break, so that's on its own page. And I could go to view, draft, and see if I could bring this up any closer to that section break so it doesn't look like it's a million miles away. I could even show these non-printing characters to see what else there is to delete. Right? Can I delete that one? I can't quite. Oh, there we go. Got it. All right, sweet. And then go back to view, print layout. And so that's just getting things organized. Next thing I want to do, you know, I might think about putting in gosh, what are they called? Headers and footers. Headers and footers. That's what they're called. I was going to say footnotes, but that's not right. I'm going to put in headers and footers. So So to insert headers and footers, just need to, I don't know where it is, so I'm going to click header and footer, and then it's going to show me. And it's under View, Header and Footer. View, Header and Footer. And that's a Mac thing, which is really nice. So now I can see my headers and footers. And when I open up headers and footers, I have this header and footer menu ribbon right here. Now you can see this header section 2, header section 1. Header section 2 is same as previous. I don't want that, so I'm going to uncheck link to previous and click up here. So I'm going to undo that because I wanted that one down there to be done. So now I'm going to go back into headers and footers. You got to play around with it like this and click in header 2, and now go to my header and footer and link to previous. It no longer says same as previous, and same with this one down here. Link to previous no longer says same as previous because I don't want headers and footers up on this title page. But the rest of them say same as previous. So as I build that header section 2, header section 3, header section 4, those are all going to be same as previous, and I do want that. So now I could come up here and I could just start putting in header and footer stuff. So I could hit tab and I could put in, McLeod T, and down here at the bottom I could put in the date, insert date, and then I might hit tab and put in the page and hit a page number, and then I might put in Professor McDowell or whatever. Enter CIT. Oh, it's all the way over on that side. I got to hit tab, come over. CIT 85 or whatever. And so there's a nice header and footer, and then I could just close that and I'm out of there. So I've got a nice header and footer. So pretty cool. Next thing I want to insert is a picture. So I could go to the web and just find a picture, and I'm just going to launch something and search for dog, because dogs are always nice. And images. And if I wanted to, I could use tools and usage rights and labeled for reuse with modification. And that dog's the first one that caught my eye. So save image as, and download it and just put a dog. Cool, it's on my desktop. And I can go back to my paper and picture and photo browser. And I gotta make sure that I'm where I want the picture to be, so I'll just put it right here. And now picture, photo browser, and photos. Dun 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 dun. Let's try that again. Picture from file. And it's on my desktop and it's called dog. So there's my dog, and I can change the size of it. And you can see now I have a picture toolbar. And one of the things I really want is wrap text, and I could do square. So now text is going to wrap around it wherever I put it. So that looks pretty good. If I wanted to, I could do some shadow effects. Right, get the look I'm looking for. That looks pretty nice. So this is how you get your papers to look good. And looking good is half the battle. It's true in so many areas of life. Dress for success, right? Like first impressions matter. And when your teacher picks up this paper and they see this nice title page and this nice table of contents and nice headers and footers, and then they see nice formatting and they see APA stuff or MLA or Chicago's all done correct, and you've got your Title I's, and oh my gosh, there's images. Everybody still loves picture books, right? You've got images in there, and then they scroll and they flip to the back, and here are your works cited, and it's perfect. You're just going to nail it. They aren't even going to read your paper. They're just going to be like, this is like an A. They'll read a couple of pieces of, a couple of paragraphs and be like, okay, this is great. And the secret to writing a paper in college, by the way, and this is how I wrote like 30-page papers in just a few hours when I was in grad school, is you just kind of present the first paragraph and say, research is mixed and there's a lot of varied opinions about this subject. And what I did was just an analysis of the literature. And here are some of the most interesting things I discovered when researching this topic. And then Newsweek reported in 2016 that, and then you just have some quote, Newsweek. But from another source, a slightly different perspective, the New York Times reported that, and you have another quote. And all you do is you write these transitions between like 30 pages of quotes, and then you just have a conclusion that says, it isn't clear what the definitive perspective is on this issue. As you can see, there's a variety of different reliable, viable you know, authorities who say, you know, exactly contradictory things. But what is clear is that, you know, this is a pluralistic issue, and that, you know, we all have to, you know, discuss this to find the right solution. And then you'd be done, right? You just like write all these transitions. And I wouldn't even care what the quote said or if it even made sense. I just leave that up for the professor to figure out. I get like, okay, that's a good B. That's a good B paper. It's not an A because it wasn't totally coherent. I just have quote, 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 quote. All right, that's how you do your paper. And let's just make sure that we did everything that we need to do for this assignment. We did the title page with vertical and horizontal. We did section breaks. We did a table of contents generated off of heading 1. And table of contents and rest of document, vertical alignment top, horizontal, yeah, so that's right. Hard page break between page. We don't need that. I'm going to take that out. We just did another section. Oh, I just got logged out. That's a bummer. Is that page? Now that page won't be there. All right. So anyhow, close enough. If you do this, you watch this video, you do that paper, and you're in my class, you turn that in. I don't care what the content is. I just want it to look good. And I'll give you full credit if you do it just like I showed you in this video. All right, the end. I hope this helped. Oh, like this video, because like, you know, if thousands of people will watch this video, that like gets me like $10 and it's beer money. So like this video and follow me on YouTube for more of these videos. All right, bye.